Welcome back to the Universal Orlando Resort. In this video, we'll take a look at some updates from both Universal Studios Florida and Islands of Adventure. We'll start off here by taking a look at the Woodpecker Kidzone. Now this area of the park closed back on January 15th of this year. And as we take a look here, you can see they've made a ton of progress in a relative short amount of time. So far, they've removed the small stage that sat out in front of ET Adventure, all of Fievel's Playland, as well as most of the Curious George Goes to Town section of the Kidzone. As far as what remains back in this section, the Woody Woodpecker's Nut House Coaster still remains, as well as the DreamWorks Destination building, which was formerly the A Day in the Park with Barney from 1995 up until February of 2021, and the small fountain that sat outside the entrance. All of the footage you're looking at here was shot from inside the park. It's very hard to see the progress being made back in this area. I do have a couple of aerial photos here that were taken by BioReconstruct. These photos you're looking at were taken back on Friday, February 17th, and you can see all of Fievel's Playland being removed, as well as part of the Curious George Goes to Town section. I've got a couple more recent photos he's taken as well we'll look at. This footage is from last Saturday, March 4th, and you can't really see any difference from inside the park where things stand now as far as the construction updates go. Now another look at these aerial photos. These are from Friday, March 3rd, and in the second photo from March 3rd, you'll see the Curious George Goes to Town section being demolished. So that will cover the Woody Woodpecker Kidzone, and we'll now move to the front of the park. In the New York section here, across from the entrance for the Jimmy Fallon ride, you can see construction walls up here. They have removed the two food kiosks that were on the corners of this park here. This is now the only smoking area that's available in Universal Studios Florida. Both Studios and Islands of Adventure now only have one smoking section in each park. Now we're looking at the construction progress here at the old Monstrous Cafe. This, of course, is being rethemed to a Minion-style cafe, much like the one they have over at Universal Studios Hollywood. And with Epic Universe being rumored to have a whole land dedicated to Universal Classic Monsters, it's likely we'll see a lot of these characters reappear over there once that park opens in summer of 2025. This footage you're looking at here was filmed last January. The Universal Monsters Cafe closed back in May of last year. I think its closing caught a lot of people off guard because there was no announcement before it closed that it would be closing permanently. But you can see here, looking at the inside of the restaurant, there were times when it was really slow in here. So hopefully when they open the new Minions Cafe, it'll be much busier. This is what it looked like last June after it had closed. You can see the old sign and entrance, as well as the Shrek meet and greet that was here on this side of the building. And of course on this side closest to the New York section of the park, it had this iconic kiosk with the rotating Universal Monsters on the roof here, and hopefully we'll see these guys again when Epic Universe opens up. Now back to some more recent footage. This is from Saturday, February 18th. They were doing a sound check for Maren Morris here. She was one of the live concerts for Universal's Mardi Gras this year. Now Mardi Gras runs through April 16th, though all of the live concerts have already taken place for this year. As we move along here, we'll take a look at the building for the new VillainCon attraction that's coming. Of course, this building housed the Shrek 4D attraction for so long. And as we look at the ride entrance here for the new VillainCon attraction that opens this summer, you can see they have already hung some banners here in the queue, and I even have some more recent footage of this. There's been more progress made on this building we'll look at here in just a moment. Of course, the new VillainCon Minion Blast will open this summer. As of filming this video, no official date has been announced just yet. Now as we look at some of this older footage of the exterior of the building here, you can see they've done a lot of work on it. It seems like they've repainted the building several times and then sanded it and painted again. So I don't know if they had some issues with this building or not. You can see on the side of the building here, they took down all the advertisements that were up underneath them here, were these old advertisements dating back. Some of them I think were 10 or 15 years old for old TV shows. Now we'll take a quick look here in the back of the park. Back in April of last year, they removed the old Fear Factor sign. Now this part of the park has been rumored for a long time to include an expansion for Diagon Alley for the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Now they did have some permits to demolish this theater last year, but I believe either the permits expired or Universal canceled them for some reason. The rumor was that they were going to build a Ministry of Magic attraction back here, but it appears that that attraction is going to now be built over at Epic Universe, though that still hasn't been officially confirmed yet by Universal. Last year in the Hollywood section of the park, they added some new stars to this Hollywood Walk of Fame. You can see longtime general manager Bill Davis, and of course Mark Woodbury, who is now the chairman and CEO of Universal Parks and Resorts. Universal Superstar Parade ended last year, back on June 4th, and as of this video, a replacement has still not been announced. Last summer also saw the closure of the Williams of Hollywood prop shop, as well as the dark room, which was right next door to it. And they've moved the tribute store, which was usually in the New York section of the park here, to Hollywood, and you enter through what was the pass holder lounge. And I'll have a separate video taking you through the new store. Now we're going to move to the front of the park here, just past the entrance. You can see there's another construction wall up here. There was a kiosk on the corner here across from the Today Cafe that's been removed, and you can see these construction walls up here. You'll also notice that the sign for the Betty Boop store is down here. Now I don't know if they're redoing this sign or if they could possibly be retheming this store to something Minions related, since this area is going to become a mini land for the Minions. And one more look in the back of the park here. You'll see they have these construction walls outside of the Simpsons. They're just doing some work on the concrete here as you enter the ride. In the last year or so, this has been a common sight at both Studios and Islands of Adventure, where they've just been doing some routine maintenance on the concrete paths around the park. You can see here outside the gift shop of the Men in Black Alien Attack attraction, they're doing the same thing. And you'll notice these construction walls move around a little bit so they can fix all the different areas of the concrete here without blocking off the walkway completely, so park guests can still get through here. Next, we'll take a look here at the park exit. They are adding some new turnstiles to the park entrance and at the park exit. You can see over here at the exit at Islands of Adventure, they have already added these new ticket scanners. And what they do is they will direct guests to enter here when it is busy. That way you spend less time waiting in line outside the park entrance. And you can see here's a little closer look of what the park exit looked like over at Universal Studios while it was under construction, as they directed all park guests to exit out through this It's a Wrap gift shop. And I think it opened just last week, so it looks almost identical to what the exit over Islands of Adventure looked like. We'll take a quick look at it here. I was able to get one shot of it. Here it is being used on last Saturday, March 4th. They were using this as both an entrance and exit. Half of it was for the entrance, the other half for the exit. You can see here at the normal entrance of the park on the right hand side, they have completely removed the structure that was there. I would assume they're adding the same turnstiles here as they have over Islands of Adventure. These have really helped with the time that you spend waiting at the turnstiles in the morning, especially when it's really busy. And we'll just look at a couple of things from last Saturday. Here at the entrance for the VillainCon attraction, you can see they've started to paint it. They've also added a ride entrance as well as a sign for the express entrance, which it does appear this ride will open and have express available. You could see and hear a lot of work being done last weekend on the Minions Cafe here, as well as some of the facades for the New York City skyline that are being redone now. We'll take a look at those here in just a second. You'll see here that they've sanded down some of these facades on these buildings. The one that was on the right-hand side here, as well as the Guggenheim, which was here on the left-hand side. And that pretty much concludes all the updates at Universal Studios Florida for now. Now we'll go to CityWalk, and you can see here right as you enter Universal CityWalk, they have recently put a new sign up. Now I think it was in April of last year that they took the sign down. It was just blank for the rest of the year. Then in January, they painted it blue and have since added this new Welcome to Universal Orlando Resort sign. This is what it looked like for most of last year. And of course, the original sign was this one you see here, which is up here for quite a while. And then I'm sure plenty of you can remember the sign that was up here from the very beginning with this yellow background with the white lettering. And I think this was the sign that was up until about 2017 or 2018 when they redid it. Now a few updates from Islands of Adventure. You can see this Seuss Landing sign. You'll notice that at some time last year, the top of the sign was either broken or taken down. And you can see here's what it looked like originally from when the land opened up until 2021 or 2022. As we move along here, you can now, for the first time ever, get vegan butterbeer in both cold and frozen from both the Three Broomsticks restaurant in Hogsmeade at Islands of Adventure or over at the Leaky Cauldron in Diagon Alley at Universal Studios Florida. Last summer, they started letting it be served without the foam topping, but have since introduced this plant-based version which came out just last week. And some exciting news related to Velocicoaster last week. You can now use Express Pass on the Velocicoaster attraction. It was just added, and you can see the sign up for it here at the attraction entrance. And the last bit of news from Islands of Adventure is the Jurassic Park River Adventure reopened. It was closed for its annual maintenance. The building that houses the Jurassic Park River Adventure suffered significant damage during the hurricane last year. There was a big hole knocked in the side of the building. It didn't affect the operation of the ride at all. It was only closed for a day or two due to this, but it did take them some time to completely repair it. It has since been repaired completely and repainted. You can't actually tell there was ever any damage to the building at all. As we look at the building here being repaired, it's very hard to see from inside the park where the damage occurred to the building. But it is very nice to see that they have completed the repair to the building. We'll take a look at it here. I do have some footage of it from a helicopter tour that I took just after the storm happened last year. You can see here back on February 18th, they had the hole completely patched up. I think all that they had left to do was paint it to match the rest of the building. And you can see it here with the damage. By this point, they had already covered it up with a tarp, but it had no effect on the ride itself. But you can see the hole was pretty big. And that's going to conclude this update from the Universal Orlando Resort. We'll end the video here from aboard a helicopter flying over Kissimmee. This is right after the storm happened last year. You can see all the flooding that had taken place in this area. This is on the approach to the Kissimmee Airport, which is where we will land at the end of this video. But that is it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.